Dancers are tall and like this big around and have long legs and a short torso.
Very long legs, thin, very thin.
It's like tall, skinny, lean girl who's like perfectly has no type of fat on her body or whatever.
Petite and elegant looking, I guess, and that just involves like being very like thin. I actually think about this a lot.
When I was in high school, I went to an all-ballet studio, and I thought that in order to be good at dancing, I had to be skinny, and if I wasn't, then I was automatically very bad at dancing.
I definitely feel like I have to meet a lot of standards. Just even like being in ballet class, like the teacher will come around to you. It's just like a normal thing now, I don't even think of it, but like they'll just hit your stomach and they say like stomach in. So it's just like reminding you, oh, you have a stomach, it's there, like you aren't perfectly flat, like it's fine, but you're just reminded of it constantly.
It just kind of goes to the back of the mind when they say like, oh, like you'd be so much better if you lost some weight in your thighs, or that's keeping you back, or if you just lost a little bit of weight, you'd perform better as a dancer.
They'll be like, well, you just need to like lean out a little bit, or even like some have been told that they just like, if you were a little thinner, then maybe it would be easier for you, which is a very old way of thinking. But at the same time, like, even standing in a ballet class, sometimes I'll think like, oh, well, maybe if my legs were a little bit thinner, like fifth position would be easier.
My body and I have a very complicated relationship, and we've had a complicated relationship since I was about 11 years old. When I was under the stress of senior year, I lost weight and I wasn't nourishing my body. I thought that I was strong enough to just push through. When I went on stage at the end of the year, I wasn't doing a good job with eating. I was probably having about 500 calories a day. I remember, like, after getting on stage, someone told me that it looked like I had lost weight, and I was like, yes, like someone sees it. Thank goodness, it's all not for nothing.
I think maybe it was in high school when I started to see those girls at competitions with like the perfect six-pack abs, like wearing those like little bra and panty like costumes, and I was like, why don't I have a six-pack in that?
Mostly it's just enforced as like sort of something that's not necessarily spoken, but just kind of understood, because you're like, oh, well, like these people all got put in this piece and they all kind of look the same, so maybe if I looked like that, I would be put in that piece.
I was so disappointed in myself because I always said since I was young, I was like, I'm never, like, I could never give up food. Like, I love it so much because I grew up in a family where we always cooked dinner every night and like ate dinner as a family, and so I never thought that I would be that person, and I ended up being her, which is really disappointing. And I just didn't want to disappoint anybody, but when I went to college, I was not in a good place, and it was really hard for me to, it was a really hard year until I got to my performance, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, at the end of the day, you have to fuel your body for it to be able to do all the things you want it to do.
I've actually been thinking about this a lot lately, like, oh, well, like, maybe if I didn't dance, I think I would, like, be happy with the body that I have, like, right now on this day. But at the same time, like, if I didn't dance, I wouldn't have the body that I have right now on this day.
I think that every body is a dancer body, and that even like a 90-year-old woman who just moves her hand the slightest bit, like, I consider her a dancer.
There can be amazing people who don't fit the body standard or don't look like how other people think they should, and why shouldn't it matter if you're an amazing dancer, or even if you just love what you do?
You don't always have to be skinnier than someone else, or stronger, or more beautiful than someone else. Loving yourself is so much more important and should be a huge priority on your list.